Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Fight Addicts. Get ready to explore the past, present, and future of MMA with your hosts, Seth Oliver and Ben Korn.
What is up, guys? Welcome to episode number 10 of the Fight Addicts. Now, this is a very special episode because we have our very first guest on the show today. But before we begin the show, make sure that you're staying up to date with us by following at the Fight Addicts on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. And be sure to check out our blog, which you can find at thefightAddicts.com. This episode was recorded on Sunday, June the 2nd, 2019, which means that we're about 20 days out from Artem's next fight at BKFC 6. So y'all know that me and Ben are pumped about that. Now, for today's episode, we do a brief recap of UFC Fight Night 153 with our guests, and then we play a pick'em game with our guests for the upcoming UFC card, which is UFC 238, headlined by Henry Cejudo and Marlon Moraes. Our guests today are two fight fans representing Baltimore, Maryland, and these guys have been podcasting since November of 2018, where they've discussed a whole variety of different MMA topics. These guys are very entertaining, and they've honestly become really good friends of the show. So, everybody, please welcome Ricky and Buddy from MMA Marks. All right, what's up, guys? How are y'all doing tonight?
Great.
Now,
Once again, lovely to see you guys.
yeah, great to see y'all too.
I love the fights that all the fights that happened. Couldn't have been happier, but I've seen some people were disappointed.
Yeah.
You couldn't have been happier
I was about to say.
the old yeller of Gustafsson, like his career. That's a sad moment.
No, I gotta say this now because if Buddy says it, it won't hold as much weight. But right before Anthony Smith and Gustafsson started, he goes, "I'm feeling like Miss Cleo. I bet that Anthony Smith gets a submission in the fourth round." And I said, "You're fucking crazy."
No way.
Yeah, I did call that.
I
Yeah,
swear to God.
I said it a little differently though. I said to him, "Hey, how did I say that Anthony Smith was going to finish him?" He's like, second round TKO. I was like, I don't know. I'm getting a feeling. I was like, I'm feeling a fourth round submission. And then I was like, if he doesn't get that TKO, it's going to definitely be a fourth round submission.
It's pretty magical.
And then it happened. And I was like,
one
yes.
It really is. Now, they just froze up on our screen,
good.
so me and Ben are going to talk about the fights for just a second. Oh,
There you go.
there he
It's
is.
gonna come back in.
Hey.
Yeah, we can hear it. We can hear you, I guess. when
Yeah,
it
exactly.
clips out a little bit.
All right, well, real quick, just for our fans to get to know a little bit more about you guys, what inspired you guys to start podcasting?
It was a combination of things. One, we talk about the fights constantly.
Yeah.
I mean, we watch all the fights and we sit here and bullshit back and forth with, who's gonna do this and who you got winning doing that, and then we just got into it. And one day, I asked Buddy. I said, "Do you want to start a podcast?" And he's like, "Man, I don't know. I don't know how to do it or how do we record and all this stuff. I don't really know." And then I think you trying to get in contact with some fighters.
So, from my perspective, it's a little differently. I've been a big fan of podcasts for a while. I work a lot of jobs my whole life where I can listen. So I like listening to podcasts, and so I've always had an interest in it, especially like wanting to do it because I'm like, it sounds super easy. But Ricky kept asking me. He was
Absolutely.
like, "Hey man, we talk the fights. Don't you think we should start a podcast or something?" And it wasn't until just as like a super fan of me, being like almost like a fanboy, I was DMing these fighters, and then I was getting a couple DMs back and stuff on Instagram. So then I was like, oh my God, like I could just interview all these guys. Let's do it, but it's obviously harder than that. But at the time I was so hyped, and then we just decided to just go full force into it, and that's how we got to where we are now.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
it was crazy.
Yeah.
It was crazy. He comes back and says, Mark Hunt, DM me back, man. Man, we got to do this podcast now. We got to do it. I was like, all right, we're on. Then we got mics, and I was YouTubing how to podcast like crazy, and then one thing led to another. Got a bunch of money together, and then here we are.
Sounds good.
Awesome,
Now,
man.
one more question for you guys before we get into the episode today. Just for fans to kind of get like a take on your perspective of MMA who are y'all's favorite fighters?
Who's your favorite fighter?
We already know. I mean, well, if anybody knows me, they know my favorite fighter of all time is Dan Henderson.
That's a good choice.
And mine is Jose Aldo, but he is coming to the tail end of his career, so I'm kind of looking for maybe a different favorite fighter coming up soon. I don't know.
Yeah. Now, what did you think of the Volkanovski fight? Because we haven't talked since then. Were you? I mean, obviously you were shocked by that because I'm sure that you had Jose winning. But did you think that it would be in that fashion if Volkanovski were to beat him?
No, I didn't think he was gonna beat him like that. I thought that Jose was just flat as hell, and he was not even trying to engage him. He was more like running around, and he just looked like he was just going through the motions. Not the thing that I don't understand is ever since the Frankie Edgar fight, his leg kicks just have been non-existent, and that was like the cornerstone of his whole offense.
Right.
And that has just not been there. He needs to go back to that. If he goes back to that, I mean, he was a professional soccer player before he was an MMA guy. If he goes back to the leg kicks, he's gonna get a title. But I think the Conor crap left a sour taste in his mouth because he didn't get his rematch like he deserves. And then with Zuffa buying out Zuffa Boxing now, I think he's going to try and go for the boxing aspect of it.
Oh, really?
That's my prediction. I mean, I could be way wrong, but that's what I'm thinking he's going to do.
Can I say something on that leg kick comment?
Oh,
Yeah,
Jesus.
go for it.
Had he thrown a leg kick to Volkanovski, it would have been a gift. And he would have took that leg and ripped it off and beat him in the head with it.
No. Had he thrown the leg, Volkanovski would have lost his damn leg because of a blood infection. And he'd be one leg and no MMA career.
Oh, well.
That's a prediction to get the whole blood infection in there. That's a good call.
Yeah. All right, well, we got some listener questions that we wanted you guys to help us answer, and me and Ben were briefly talking about it before we started. But the first one comes from the Taro Patch Kid on Instagram.
Taro Patch?
Yeah, so shout out to him. He said, is the flyweight division officially discontinued? After Cejudo's win over TJ, did it save the roster? What is to become of the remaining fighters afterward? So, Ben, we'll take your take first, and then Rick and Buddy will get to you guys.
Yeah,
what do you think about the
flyweight is
flyweight
still
division?
a viable place. It shouldn't go away. The women's 145 is what goes away. Like, there's nothing there. But, like, 125, there are choices that you could still make that'd be okay. Like, as far as title fights go.
Yeah. Ricky and Buddy, what's y'all's takes on it?
I think that 125 is a good division to have, just not in the UFC. They don't know how to promote it properly. They need to have it in something like a PFL because you're not having that star power, that shit talker. They need it in like one or in PFL or another organization. UFC is just for, it's kind of like, in my opinion, the WWE kind of shit talking type of fight organization. What do you think, bud?
I think 125 is already getting phased out. I don't see it lasting much longer. They got a few people trying to save the division, but the one person that really could have, Henry Cejudo, immediately takes a champ match going up in weight. So it's like they're killing off the division. They're cutting everybody at 125.
They are cutting a lot of 125ers.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it just seems like that's the direction they're going in.
Yeah.
From my perspective.
I'm like you. I think that I think that Henry shouldn't have taken that champ fight if he's going to save the division. Like, I feel like it would have been best for him to defend immediately, but that was kind of a statement that, like, it's probably going to be a wrap. Like, if he wins, if he beats Moraes, I think you probably say goodbye to the flyweights. But
I don't know, man.
You don't think so?
I mean,
I don't think that they should, but, like, as the company, I feel like that's kind of the direction that they're moving in.
Well, I mean, as long as okay, so there are 3 women's divisions currently.
Pull your mic a little bit closer to you.
Sorry
good.
about that. There are 3 women's divisions currently. And I know just because, I mean, like, as far as I've heard in terms of fans of MMA, like, women fighting gets as much hate, if not more hate, than men's 125. Like, some people just hate it. Hate it. And, like,
I don't hate it. It's just it's boring.
we'll see
He
if it's
hates it.
But see, if it's a matter of skills, it makes sense for you to hate women's MMA but not hate men's 125 because those guys are skilled. They're technically like the fastest dudes doing what they're doing. But like, you know, the women are not as skilled yet as the men are because there were fewer of them doing it back in the day. It hasn't evolved to the level, you know?
Well, I think some are on that level, and then some are the gap between the two is very, very noticeable. I mean, you take somebody like Tatiana Suarez, and then you take somebody like Carla Esperanza. That gap is huge.
What?
Or
There's a reason for that.
Or Amanda Nunes and Holly or Amanda Nunes.
They're promoting. They're allowing girls that aren't ready because they're better looking.
That's true.
So
That's true.
I
and
see
they're,
what
and
you're
they're trying to give them favorable matchups too, because they don't do that with men usually. They don't pick out the better looking man.
Say that again, guys. I didn't hear that last part.
I was saying that that's a good point that you were making about just the attractiveness level. Like if you get an attractive girl,
right?
Yeah.
I mean, that's why Paige
with
Van
guys,
Zandt gets
you don't
promoted,
have
like,
the attractiveness. You have,
whenever
well,
she
you
fights.
do when you have
Yeah.
guys like Sage Northcutt but we seen how that went.
Yeah. Yeah. Sage Northcutt. Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, we seen how that went.
All right. The second question that we got was it's Aaron, right, from Fighting With Myself.
Okay.
That's his name,
Oh,
right?
yeah.
It was slipping my
Yeah,
mind for
yeah.
a second. But he asked, what was the most disappointing fight of the night at UFC Stockholm? So me and Ben were casuals this weekend, and we both only caught the main card. So my picks.
I wasn't trying to be a casual. I went
messing
to
with him.
ESPN Plus, the thing that I'm paying money for, to watch the fights, and it let me watch the main card, but it didn't have a button for me to find the prelims on my ESPN Plus app. And I was like, well, I guess I'm
no.
not watching the
ESPN too.
prelims.
Yeah, it was on ESPN2. The
Did you guys
prelims
experience
were
that problem
on
too, or
ESPN2, and the main card was on ESPN Plus.
Hold on.
We good? I can see you blinking, Ben.
Say that one more time, brother.
I said the prelims were on ESPN2,
Oh,
and the main and the main.
that makes me furious. That makes me want to just say, yeah, this is going to be a Bellator podcast from now on. That's ridiculous.
Well,
Terrible.
Bellator is pretty hard to watch sometimes too.
Yeah, Bellator has
Yeah.
that deal with the Zone. So if you don't
Yeah.
got the Zone, you can't watch Bellator.
I'm just going to
Yeah,
do a
he
podcast
ranted
about
about that.
WCW from 1997 then. How about that? Because that I can watch. This is terrible.
right.
Yeah.
Hey, he's got Scott Hall.
I know.
Hey yo,
I know. He's rocking the Razor Ramon.
That's
shirt.
right. Exactly.
they consciously wore good shirts. I mean, I got my.
You
black
consciously
t-shirt.
wore. Yeah, exactly.
I was about to point that out.
Let
Your
me
black
see what you got,
V-shirt.
Ricky. You don't even want
Let's
to.
see, I got my church. I'm repping my church.
Yeah,
every
man.
day.
Freedom
Absolutely.
He's repping his church as he. Never mind.
All right. Well, final thing before we get into our pick'em game that you guys are
Well,
here
hold
for.
on.
What-
Just
what you
to
got?
answer Fighting With Myself's question.
Yeah, that's a good point.
The worst fight of the night had to be Daniel Tamar and Sung Bung Ho.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, you didn't
because
like that
Sung
one.
Bung Ho ran. He ran the first 2 rounds.
Yeah, but I mean, it
I
played
feel
out
like-
a story, you know.
Well, I'll let you finish.
Yeah, Daniel Tamar telling you that you were wrong about him and that he's a good fighter.
Huh.
I mean,
He's not that good.
Who's not that good? You Skyped on it.
Daniel Tamar. You hear it?
Yeah.
Define
I mean-
good. Like, he's dangerous, Like, he's an animal, but, like, I think that he gets controlled by most of the, like, he's not going to go on a tear and become, like, a top 10 fighter anytime soon, I don't think. But
Exactly.
I mean, he's dangerous. He's very dangerous. Right. Like, I don't take anything away from him. He should be there. He proved that he should be there. He should be on the roster. He's not like a World Series of Fighting guy.
No.
Yeah.
I mean, he was spamming the hell out of some left hooks, but
Yeah.
but he was very, very aggressive, and I liked the fight a little bit, but out of all the fights, I want to say that one was the most boring fight.
He'll never be a main eventer. He'll always be a guy that just does a fun fight, in my opinion.
And that's fine.
Yeah.
We need guys like
I agree
that,
with that.
But see, that used to be what I thought about Cerrone. I'll tell you that right now. I used to think he was just going to be a good banger at the beginning of things. And now it's like, wait a minute, he's going to, if he wins, he's going to fight for the belt. And if he wins, he's going to fight Conor McGregor. And and I'm like, what? Why? Like, do you remember the RDA fight?
Well, I mean, he
with
does
Cerrone?
have a very what is it,
Like,
specific skill
that
set.
kinda
with
showed
his
us, like,
combinations
what
and
Cerrone's going to look like if he
all
gets in
the
there and
other
gets a top-level
all
guy.
the heart and adversity that he goes through. I mean, Cerrone's a real contender. I like Cerrone a lot. Now that he's up in a weight class and down in I mean, that he stays, between 45 and 55.
You're good.
Yeah, you can hear us, right?
Yeah, I can
Yeah,
hear
we
you just
can
then.
now. Yeah.
So, like,
Yeah.
I think there is a difference between Dad Cerrone and prior Cerrone.
For sure.
Oh my God, yes.
Yeah.
I don't know because the prior Dad Cerrone, you think about the Rick Story combination. He showed up sometimes.
Yeah, he showed up sometimes, but I don't think Dad Cerrone gets it put on him by Nate Diaz that way.
That's what makes me not pick him every time. I remember that match.
I'm just getting slapped, and like Diaz just standing there talking to him the entire fight.
That is so awesome. I love Nate Diaz for that.
Now, buddy, what was your least favorite fight or the most disappointing fight of the card? To answer his question, or can you think of one off the top of your head?
Well, I mean, I'm kind of like, to me, I mean, it's kind of like an obvious pick, but it's the fight that didn't happen because Latifi got injured.
Yeah, that's a good call.
Who,
You know what I mean?
Who
Like,
was he supposed
I
to
was-
fight?
Vulcan.
Volkanovski?
Yeah.
No, Vulcan Uzdemir.
No.
Oh, Vulcan Uzdemir.
I was gonna say that'd be a
Couple
hell of a
weight
fight,
classes
dude. Volkanovski and Latifi, that's like 3 weight classes difference. I hear you. I hear you now.
Yeah, when the video caught up.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Word.
All right, Ben, did you have a most disappointing fight?
The most disappointing thing to me was the watching Gustafson's career die, like watching the soul go out of his body.
Yeah.
Like,
Show's over, guys. Hashtag RIP.
yeah, man. I just didn't expect it. Hey, but at least he did the right thing at the end of the fight. Had retired, like he realized he was done and quit. He's not going to BJ pin it and lose 18 times, and everyone's just going to be embarrassed that this keeps happening.
But out of all the 205 fighters, I want to say he has the most quit in him. Whenever he gets on, whenever he gets down in the fight, when Anthony Smith took his back and flattened him out, you saw that he quit.
Hold on, what?
100%.
No,
Anthony
I
Smith-
agree.
Knocked him out.
No, he didn't.
No, he choked him.
out.
Choked him
brother.
brother.
I mean, hold on. I'm thinking of Anthony Johnson, dude. I'm in a whole nother.
Anthony Johnson straight up headbutted him and then knocked him out. Remember that fight?
Yeah, that's what I was like,
remember
what?
that fight
What are you
very
talking about?
clearly. There was a clear foul, and then he punched him, and I was like, "Well, okay, all right then."
How the hell did I get to that?
But I mean,
It's like the
put
King
my
Mo
point
and
on,
Hodger
when
Gracie.
John Jones, when he fought
King Mo,
John
Hodger
Jones,
Gracie. Hodger Gracie
and
got
John Jones got
headbutted,
him
and then he
on
got
his
punched,
stomach.
and it was like, "Well, that's not fair."
Well, hold on. When John Jones got Gustafson on his stomach, he quit. When Anthony Smith got him on his stomach, he quit. And when he realized that he can't beat Anthony Smith, then he quit. So this is why I say Gustafsson has the most quit in 205.
That's fair.
Yeah,
But-
I was just talking to Ben about that, about how like both those examples about Jones and Smith. As soon as he got down, he just kind of like gives up, and he flattened out and he got TKO'd and then choked unconscious. So we see how it goes whenever that happens.
But the thing that I like about Gustafsson is that third round. That third round was phenomenal for Gustafsson. I mean, I thought he was going to win after that.
Yeah, especially that
And
body kick and then the takedown.
Right? Right. I thought Gustafsson was all right.
Absolutely.
He's just going to feel him out the first 2 rounds, and now he's going to mess him up. But as soon as he took him to the ground, it was over.
I didn't doubt Smith once.
Yeah, I know. I know. Buddy is so
He's a true
locked
Lionheart
in
fan.
when he gets his fights, when he picks his fighters. You good, guys?
Yeah.
I know we keep cutting out. I'm sorry.
It's okay,
You're
brother.
good. All right,
Alright,
well,
cool.
let's go ahead and get into our awards that we do, and then after that, we'll get into the pick'em game. So, Griffin Bonner Award, for everybody listening, that is our Fight of the Night award that we do at the Fight Addicts. So, mine for this week, I really like the Amir Khani Fishgold fight, mainly the ending when they just like circle for that like 10 to 15 seconds when Amir
Yeah.
Khani's getting him in the choke. I thought that was like a top ending for it, so I really like watching that one. Ben,
Yeah, man.
who you got?
Yeah, that was mine.
Okay,
Yeah, just because of the end. Yeah.
what about you guys?
Buddy, what was yours?
Same.
Same?
Well, I mean, what did you expect?
Yeah, I know. Three Stooges.
Hey,
he was all about it.
That was the most hype I was. That was the biggest fight for me. I was all hype about that fight.
Me, it was the main event. I liked the fact that we seen Gustafsson quit. We seen Gustafsson shine with the third round, and then we seen Anthony Smith triumph finally, which was
Okay.
good.
That was a good layout.
So that's
Yeah.
what I wanted to see.
That match had a nice storyline.
It did. It really did.
Mm-hmm.
It's fixed.
My our GSP award doesn't necessarily have to be a fight. It can just be the
It's
moment.
yeah.
So
yeah,
mine
anything.
was going to be the post fight Dan Hardy on his knees interview with Tamur, because I felt like most people would have told him to get up. Like most of the in cage people would have messed up. Like they would have been like done something like, "Hey man, stand up," like you need gonna interview you. But he was like, "Oh, it's in a moment," and he's emotional, so I'm just gonna get down here on the ground with him and interview him. I was like, "Good call. That's what you should do."
Yeah, it's kind of like Rogan with Sean O'Malley. Whenever he had he broke his leg or whatever, and he got down and
Yeah,
did
exactly.
it with him.
Yeah, or like when DC was like, "There's not gonna be any translation tonight." Yeah, like we don't need that translated. All right, next fight.
Right.
Mine definitely
Yeah.
has to be Alexander Rakic. I think Rakic's head kick
Radic
over
or Radic?
Rakic,
Rakic?
something like that.
Rack kick.
Rakic. I don't know why I was
Rakic.
putting a CH there. Okay, so Rakic's head kick over Jimmy Manawa. I don't think that anything topped that.
Right. I mean, that was definitely a coming out party for him.
Yeah.
Mine was Frank Camacho. Frank Camacho totally changed up his style when he got with Akamoto's team. He used to be one of those savage guys that would run in and rush, and he changed all that completely around. Now he's way more calculated, and he spammed that body kick and just killed his fighter. Nick Hine never saw it coming. He was expecting a completely different fight, and he came out like a true professional. I really like Frank Camacho for changing up his whole style.
Gotcha.
All right, mine's gonna be Leonard Santos Leonardo Santos.
Woo! That was one hell of a right hand.
Well, yeah. So it was my GSP award because just like GSP, he took some time off, came back like it was nothing.
Yeah.
Right on.
Good call.
How much time did he come out?
I don't know. I think it was like 3 years, 4 years,
3 years. Holy shit.
and he's almost 40.
Dang, that
Is
was
he
like
for
4
real?
GSP.
Yeah.
Wow.
All right, and then finally CM Punk awards, which is just like biggest L that happened. Mine was definitely Gustafson retiring after losing in his hometown. So, I mean, maybe if you get the win, but not after going to sleep. I don't know.
Yeah, man. Mine is Anthony Joshua, the heavyweight champion of the world. Well, not anymore. Sorry, bro.
If he'd have just fought Deontay Wilder, he could have made $300 million and got knocked out in the same fashion.
Yeah.
Hey,
Quicker.
You're right, sir.
It would have ended earlier. It would have ended earlier against Wilder.
Yeah, it would have been a shorter night. He'd have had to do less work.
He got TKO'd by Big Fluffy.
I hope Ruiz is legit. I hope that like Ruiz shows up and just starts like styling on fools. I mean, like Tyson Fury has the body of a melting candle to begin with. So like, yeah, man.
Look. Did anybody see the meme that's out now where the kid from Up, the Mexican kid from Up, turns around and he's the heavyweight champion?
That's awesome.
Nice.
That's good.
Yeah, that is a good one, brother.
Oh my God, I couldn't stop laughing when I seen that.
All right. So what y'all see on Punk for this week?
Mine was a tie between Jimmy Manawa and Sung Bin Ho. I mean, Jimmy Manawa, this is be his fourth loss in a row. I mean, come on, dude. And he barely got any offense off and just went to sleep. I know you get caught, but come on.
He was out.
He was out. He was sleeping for a long time. And Sung Bin Ho, he ran around the ring for two rounds.
Yeah, coming in 9-0, you'd expect more.
Yeah, fuck yeah.
That's true.
But like at the same time, anytime I see a guy who fights out of like South Korea, you know, like anytime I see someone who's fighting out of a place that it's like, where's his gym?
You racial profiling? Racial
no,
profiling?
I'm saying like I'm country profiling. Like it has nothing to do with his race. It has to do with like, wait a minute, you're training in South Korea? Like something tells me there's not a Jackson Wink South Korea. You know what I'm saying? Like
Korean Zombie. I mean, you got Korean Zombie. He's all right.
No. But we do have that. We have a racial thing that we do where we can't bet on the Asian.
Right.
I was about to ask,
We
is
do
that
say
y'all?
I
all.
ended up betting.
I knew that somebody
that was
did. I
us.
was thinking it was y'all. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
you
there
know
are
it's gonna be
obvious
us.
exceptions to that rule though. Because
Yeah.
like you get like Kung Lee in there, like
When there's
Strike
two
Force
Asians
Kung.
in a fight, maybe.
Yeah, but I mean like Strike Force Kung Lee, like as long as they're pairing him up, like he's gonna eventually run into Scott Smith and lose, and it's gonna be hilarious. But
Yeah.
he's mostly just gonna like start spinning from halfway across the cage and kick somebody. It's just ridiculous. He's gonna break Frank Shamrock's arm, that kind of stuff.
Yeah. I mean, there's always exceptions to the rule.
What about
always
Machida?
been
Does
so.
Machida count? Because he's from Brazil,
No,
but he's
Machida's Brazilian.
but he's
Machida's
Asian. though.
Brazilian.
But
he
he's
also
Asian.
drinks his own piss. So
Yeah, he goes extreme with it.
But see,
he's another level of Asian.
yeah. Okay, I got you.
If you have to drink your own piss, you are way extreme.
Yeah.
I just remember laughing when that all came out that Machida was drinking his own piss, and Forrest Griffin was like, "Yeah, I'd drink it too if it made me fight like Machida."
As for us.
He doesn't just drink his own piss though. I've seen a video where him and a reporter switch each other's
Yes,
cups.
that was so nasty.
So he's just into
So they're
like
drinking
piss
each
in
other's
general. Yeah.
So did the reporter have steroids in his piss, and that's why he tested positive?
No, it was
It was a her.
it was a female, and and they switched
seems-
each other's piss drink.
This seems dark. This seems like it's going down a road that I don't want it to go down. Honestly, like I never need to see this,
All right, so
and
you
I
guys-
never need to know about it. Yeah,
You guys want to move
it's
on and
okay.
hear my CM Punk?
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's hear Buddy CM Punk before this goes dark.
All right,
there we
so
go.
I'm gonna go with Daniel Tamor.
Oh, fuck you.
Hold on, but it was it's because the after fight like
Oh, the post fight interview because
went
he
way
got
too long.
cringy.
Yeah,
he got cringy at the end.
it went way too long, and then he's like Despacito.
Yeah. He went full Cejudo.
And then, like, the whole crowd was like, we're not getting behind that. Fuck you.
that was good.
It wasn't a Buntello level of the crowd not getting behind it though.
Yeah.
That is true.
That's the best. That is the ultimate of, let me see if I have any fans out there, and no one responds. And I was like, yep, that's right. Paul Buentello. He's like, don't fear me.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I was about to ask you what the quote was that he said.
Yeah.
Who was that?
He tries to get
He's a heavyweight.
Yeah, like he wants the crowd to say fear the consequences. He said ahead of time, like back at the, advent of, it was like 2003 when he did this. So he was saying it online, not on Twitter because it didn't exist, but like he was telling everybody that he was going to, go out there, and whenever he won this fight, he was going to say, don't fear me. And then everyone was going to say, fear the consequences. And so he gets on the mic after the fight and he's like, let me see if I got any fans out there. Don't fear me. And it's dead silence in the arena. And then he's like, okay, well, yeah, don't fear me, fear the consequences. And I'm like, oh, whew, that hurts. It hurts on my insides whenever that.
Hurts your heart.
I feel like "Don't Fear Me, Fuck Me" has more ring to it.
Whoa.
I don't know the guy.
Oh my god.
All right. Y'all ready to get into the pick'em game?
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right,
We're ready to whip your ass.
Oh, we talked for hours about this, trying to have a good strategy.
Good.
Yeah, we
I'm
actually
happy that y'all
took
did
some
that.
time.
So, real quick, for all the listeners out there, so Ben and I reached out to Ricky and Buddy to see if they'd be interested to play pick'em with us, and they accepted, and they competed against us in what's like the lost episode, since it never materialized. But we had a great first episode with them, and currently, Buddy, what is the score? Is it 28-25?
Yes, 28 us, the MMA Marks.
Right. Now, the game is broken down into two categories because we're doing a whole individual matchup, which Buddy is winning also, and then team to team. So it's Team Fight Addicts versus Team MMA Marks. The goal of the game is to have the most points by the end of 2019 for yourself and team by picking UFC pay-per-view fights correctly. So point system, we start out with the lock. Now, the lock, if you get it right, is 10 points. If you get it wrong, it is -5 points. So
That is correct. Okay, we're right on the rules.
Yep.
same page.
Word.
Okay. So for everybody's lock, Ben will go since we're actually no, we'll let the guests go first. Who is y'all's lock for UFC 238?
All right.
I like the strategy.
Let's see who y'all got.
Okay, so you want to say your lock, or you want me to say mine?
I'll say my lock first. My lock for this week is Tatiana Suarez. That's my lock. She's what is she? Negative 1,200.
Yeah, ridiculous.
Negative 1,200
I
frames.
think on Bovada she was
And
like
yet
negative
still
1,000.
not the most, she's not the biggest favorite somehow. What a horrible card. Horrible.
Unbelievable.
Horrible
Yeah, well,
card.
a couple weird matchups.
Hold on, yeah. Before we get into this, me and Ben disagreed a little bit on this. What do y'all think of the UFC 238 card? Like, do you look at
It's
that
a
and you're
real-
like, that's a good card? Or you like, it's not that great?
I think it's gonna be a great card.
Yeah, surprisingly good. I didn't we were going down the card yesterday, we were like, holy shit, this is actually a decent card. I mean, given you got the weird matchups with the ladies, but everything else is really good.
He's talking.
Okay, yeah, that was my thoughts. Because I looked through it and I was like, man, even like the prelims, like they have some really good fights on. Like the Ricardo Lamas fight, Aljo and Pedro Munoz.
That's a good fight.
Right?
Yeah, there's some good fights. No,
But, like-
it isn't top heavy. Like,
Right.
Cejudo and Moraes is your main event. I
Right.
mean, that's
That's a
not that
problem.
great.
Like, I'm not saying that I would be mad if it was a free card, but when you're like, it's $60, it's $65 really for
Yeah, because nobody's paying for SD.
Moraes. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I'm with Seth on this.
I know, like, Schaub didn't do much by snitching. Like, we can still get it. Let's just say that.
yeah, man. But I'm just saying, like, there's nobody who's gonna pay for this. Nobody.
Right.
Nobody pays for this.
Well, no.
But I say, like,
so that makes it horrible.
as a hardcore fan, for the company, it is probably not going to be a good card. It'll do under 100,000, but like for an MMA fan that really enjoys watching fights, I think it's going to be a really good night and some really good matchups.
Yeah,
on
this is going to be a very technical fight card going down the line. I mean, if you're looking for good mixed martial arts, this is the card to see. I mean, as far as casuals go, no, nobody's going to pay for it.
No,
but,
I think the people's main event, that's going to bring in a lot of casuals.
well, Ferguson, Cerrone, yes, but other than that,
yeah, nobody's going to know any of these names.
nah.
Right, but like that should be the problem is it's all screwed up because that should be the main event on a fight night and make it 5 rounds.
I was about to say it's sad that fight's not going 5 rounds.
So you're going to have 3 5-round fights?
No, you're
You're
gonna
gonna have-
you're gonna put
So-
you're gonna somehow figure out a way to make that 5 rounds. I know that you shouldn't
Okay.
you shouldn't have 3 5-round fights on a card. Granted, I
Correct.
understand why you can't do that, but you don't
Right.
move the women's championship to a fight night. No one is paying you for that fight. No one says, "Oh, I was going to buy it, but, Jessica I really tipped the scale."
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, it's like Mighty Mouse.
Winning is winning.
No one's gonna beat him.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, that's why my lock is Shevchenko, or however you pronounce it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
No,
Shevchenko.
yeah. That's the biggest favorite on the card.
Yeah, that was my lock.
Yes, what is
I'm
she,
way
like
better
a
on her. than
1,500
a lot of-
favorite?
Yeah,
Ridiculous.
I feel like a lot of people sleep on her though.
Yeah.
I feel like she gets a lot of people talk shit about her.
I don't know why. She's the most
Yeah, that's what I was
technically
about
sound.
to say.
Yeah, the most
me,
technically sound fighter in the female division.
Her striking speed alone is just like ridiculous.
I think she's more technically sound than Amanda Nunes. I mean, Amanda Nunes just has more power. But as far as technique is concerned, Shevchenko is far and away better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, I'm with Buddy. I have Shevchenko as my lock. I almost picked Suarez, but I don't know. I think that Valentina definitely defends her belt, and for sure against Jessica I. No offense to I, but I think this is gonna be Valentina's like a very good performance from her. Ben, what about you?
Mine is Suarez. Same as Suarez.
Oh,
Okay. So we can cancel that out.
yep.
Pretty much.
All right, now your underdog pick, which is worth 5 points.
Yeah, this is the deciding factor of this whole betting situation right here.
From our strategy, from what we think that it all comes down to who wins the underdog.
Yeah, pretty much.
Probably, yeah.
Until Anderson Silva craps the bed.
Yeah.
Again?
No, I mean, like, until there's something where I'm like, oh, well, I'm picking the underdog in the main event, and it makes sense.
Right.
No, it doesn't.
Okay, so am I going first?
Yeah. Buddy goes first.
All right, my underdog is Ricardo Lamas.
Okay.
It's a good pick.
And mine's Pedro Munoz.
Okay.
That's who I got. What do you guys got?
But I'm gonna let you take it.
Yeah.
Honestly, I swear, I'm still thinking about mine. Because I had one picked, but I'm trying to review them all in my head.
He's trying to eat them. That's what he's doing.
Sorry,
Yeah,
I mean,
she-
He's been
I
chewing into the microphone for like 20
I
minutes.
know, right?
But, no,
feel
yeah.
ashamed now.
As far as you
I'll
should.
finish them all.
You should.
Shame.
Shame.
Boo this man.
Fear the...
Yeah. But my underdog is Angela Hill. By your strategy.
You're gonna kill him. You're gonna kill him.
He's not prepared for that.
Yeah, man.
God.
It's completely based on your on what you said earlier. Like
What's
you
that?
can't bet on an Asian man. Like the girl the girl that Angela Hill is fighting is Asian, and she's gonna be timid, and Angela Hill is gonna steamroll her because she's gonna just put it on
Angela
her.
Hill kind of sucks.
She
You know who
does.
she's
I'm not
fighting,
saying
though.
that she doesn't. I'm not
You know
saying
who
that
she's
she
fighting,
doesn't.
though, right? You seen who she's fighting?
Yes.
So did you see the China card with Curtis Blades?
Yes.
So it's that one chick that was screaming, the Asian chick that was screaming, and
Yeah.
that whipped up on what's her name?
I don't even know who I almost said she. I don't know who he's talking about.
She is.
Hold on,
Yeah,
I'll
but
look
she's
it
a
up.
decent fighter. She's a decent fighter, and I'm just saying
Yeah.
Angela Hill doesn't have the best track record.
Well, I mean, she's the underdog. I'm just saying as far as like, so I'm not saying that she shouldn't be the underdog, but I think that she's always a roll of the dice. She's one good bomb away.
I got a question.
Yeah.
Did you know that Angela Hill is a replacement for the fight?
I didn't.
Okay, it was originally Felice Herring or whatever. Herrig?
Well, I would probably pick Felice then if
Right.
it had been Felice. Yeah.
Yeah, I would have chosen, picked her.
But
can't
I think
tell me,
Angela
man.
Hill gets it done. That's my pick.
All right. Made me
Fin-
choke on my soda, but
Fingers
yeah.
crossed for the Asian.
Come
All right,
on,
so-
Asia.
I'm gonna take a bold prediction, and I've told Ben I don't even know. I wouldn't even lean towards this guy winning the fight. I think I'm gonna pick Dad Cerrone as the underdog. Somebody's got to do it, and honestly, I feel like that.
I just.
we don't
thought
know
you
how
both were
Tony's
gonna
gonna
pick
be.
Cerrone.
Yeah, we 100% thought both of you were going to pick Dad Cerrone. 100%.
I told you the dad's not going to be able to do it. Tony's going to get out the holy water and beat him, man. He's going to go full Diego Sanchez and get it done.
Yeah. Yeah, he's
My-
a full psychopath.
I try to weigh out like a lot of their mental state going into it, and I feel like this one, I don't know. Like Lamas does have a good chance. He was almost the one that I picked. Munoz, I kind of went back and forth with, but I'm like, nah, I feel like Sterling's gonna finish him, but I'm just gonna stick with Cerrone. I said it, so I'll stand by it.
I mean, I hope so. That's the underdog that I hope wins the most, but I don't think he will.
Yeah. Who are you guys rooting
Hey,
for in that fight?
this is a competition. This is competition. You got to choose the
Yeah,
one that you think.
I know.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying to him. That's why I picked Angela Hill. What are you guys listening to?
Hey, if you can lock it in now, or you can change it. If
No,
you
you
don't
can't
think
change
if you don't
anything.
think he's gonna win,
Once
Hey,
you've said
lock-
it, it has
lock
been
both of
locked.
ours in,
Yeah.
yeah.
There's none of
That's
this
right.
final answer stuff. Yeah.
I just felt bad because he said he didn't think he was gonna win.
Yeah.
I feel like he has the best chance of all the underdogs. I guess that's like the best way I could put it. Because I have I think I have every single favorite winning on that fight card.
Even Lamas, you got Calvin Kattar beating him.
I think so now. Probably not like 2 or 3 years ago, but I'd say Cater probably decisions him.
Okay.
I think if Kattar wins, he's gonna knock him out first round.
You
That's
think
what
so?
I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's
I don't
too
know.
aggressive to go for 3 rounds like his style.
We'll find out Saturday.
Yeah, man.
That's right. That's right.
why
When
I
we
watch
win
the
again,
fights.
that's right.
Hopefully we come on the victorious side this time, but we'll see. All right,
Yeah.
main event. Who you guys got?
Well, okay, so we're doing main first, not co-main.
Sure, we can build it up to the main event. So let's do co-main first.
Okay, I think we all have the same answer.
Shevchenko.
I'll
Is
say it on
anyone
3.
going for
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nope.
All right, Shevchenko. So that one's basically canceled out.
Yeah, good to get that one out of
Yeah.
the way. All right, so now main event.
Go
All right,
ahead.
I'm gonna go with Marlon.
Okay, how do you think that he gets it done? Like, is this gonna be a long, drawn out 5 rounds, or is this like a quick finish?
Yeah, I think he's gonna starch him. Marlon's been a way more aggressive fighter than Henry has, but I mean, most recently Henry's been pretty aggressive. So I think they're both gonna come out very aggressive, and it's gonna either way it's gonna end first or second round, I believe, and either one wins.
Okay. Ricky, how about you?
I'm going to have to go. My original pick was Moraes, but I'm going to have to go Cejudo just because
So close strategically.
it's way too close. I mean, it's a 10-point difference in the betting odds, and I think his wrestling might get it done.
That's the thing that I'm most scared about, because my pick is Moraes. But my thing is, like, what if Cejudo just comes out every round and takes him down, and then we kind of see, like, a boring, like, 5-round decision of just Cejudo, like, trying to work on the ground, and then, like, Marlon can't really do anything. They're just kind of, like, at a stalemate, but Cejudo's on top, so he gets the points. But
If Cejudo can slow down the speed, he's going to win.
Yeah. But, yeah, I'm like, buddy, I don't think it's going to happen. I think that Mirage is going to get it done probably early on. Probably by TKO. Not a clean knockout, but ref has to step in. Ben?
That was my first thought.
I
But,
think that Mirage is going to win. And I think that Mirage is my pick. And Mirage will win either by late stoppage or he just wins 5 rounds because Henry doesn't shoot much. He gets it stuffed a couple times whenever he goes for it, but he doesn't start shooting until it's way too late and way too obvious what he's going to try and do. Like, he gets jabbed up for like 3 rounds. Like, he loses the first 3 rounds of like any type of hand exchange, and he's just trying to catch him with a big punch. And then in the 4th, he starts trying to shoot, and he gets messed up worse because he's shooting from halfway across the cage, and you know it's coming.
Yeah.
You know? So it's like, well,
Yeah,
okay.
you can't do that on Cejudo. But
Yeah, I mean, it definitely could happen.
it could. And Cejudo's got a big fucking head. So
Yeah. In more ways than one, so.
Yeah, absolutely.
yeah, fucking Captain Cringe.
Hey, did you know he had gold medals?
No, I never knew. Never knew.
Has he ever brought it up before? Like an interview or anything?
No, never. He would never do that. He's so humble.
Yeah, for real.
Yeah, but I have missed weight less times in Legacy Fighting Championship than Henry Cejudo has. You know? Like, I bring that up.
Yeah.
Come on
It's a
now.
fact of the
Yeah,
day.
right. Yeah, you gotta take them IVs away.
Yeah, man. Get people to fight at their actual weight.
Yeah. I mean, I like the way One Championship does its weight classes, but
That's what I was just about to say.
there is a downside to that. Nobody ever sees anybody weigh in. It's just the person and the officials. Other than that, there's no press. There is no opponent watching you weigh in. And you weigh in twice and you do a hydration test both days. But nobody else sees that but the officials. So that's a little sketch for me.
Yeah, and it's Asian officials.
I like how he gets nice and round-eyed when he's saying it.
Asian
Just so you don't even
officials.
think for a second he's Asian.
Oh my God.
You know.
No. What I'm saying
Asians.
is, like, legitimately though, like what I am trying to say is, in Pride, there was all kinds of shenanigans going on. Have you guys ever watched that documentary, The Smashing Machine, the Mark Kerr documentary?
No, I've never seen it.
Okay, so like in there, it shows you a lot of behind the scenes of like pre-2000 Pride, like, you know, like 1996 Pride, 97 Pride, and it's Mark Kerr getting like, he's getting his blood drawn, and they find, like, they ask him what he's on, and he's on just like, you know, tons of Oxycontin and like steroids and testosterone, and like it's all just this stuff that it's like you should never be allowed to fight anyone. And they're like, okay, you got a prescription? Okay, good. Bye. Yeah, that's why. Honestly, that's why we're at my parents' house. Because yeah, I would be like, here are my daughters, you know.
Yeah, for all the audio listeners, Ricky's kid just came in.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
there are people who can't see this, so right on.
That's right.
Yeah. Well, you guys ready to wrap up the show?
Sure.
All right,
Sure.
so
I mean, go ahead.
I was just going to say, before you guys leave us, where can others find you guys at? Like, where all y'all's available, or your podcast available?
Well, the podcast, you can find us on anywhere you listen.
You can find us on Apple, iTunes, Spotify. You can find us on Stitcher, Pocket Casts. You got Dana White?
Yeah, goofball.
Yeah, also for the audio listeners,
You show
Ben is holding up.
you guys show us your kid, and we'll show you our daddy right here.
That's
Everybody's daddy.
That's Uncle Dana. Uncle Dana.
yeah, Uncle Dana to us over here.
But yeah, and then, you know, we're on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, we're more active on Instagram. We're getting a little bit more active on Twitter, but that's at MMA_Marks, and that you can find us. Find us on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. We're a little less active, but that's just how it goes.
Yeah, that's kind of how we are.
But pretty much anywhere you get podcasts, you can find our stuff. And yeah, just look for the bright green background with the fist, and that's us.
Are you on SoundCloud?
No, I don't think we're on SoundCloud.
It's so true of everybody, man. That's such a It's like
We know
saying
one person.
MySpace. It's like saying
I thought SoundCloud was for rappers.
yeah,
Pretty much.
for mumble rappers.
Well, you know one person that's on SoundCloud, don't you?
Yeah, he's a rapper.
Oh, no, you
no.
know a podcast.
Oh yeah. Lil B. That's what we call him, Lil B. But
He's
yeah.
a rapper.
yeah, but he just on SoundCloud, so he needs to transition into more.
Yeah.
We use Anchor, and we love it because it publishes to everything.
Are you guys still using Anchor?
Yeah, and y'all are the reason that I found out about it, because I found y'all's podcast and I heard the ad that y'all run at the beginning of it, and so I was like, maybe we need to make that switch.
I just talk into a microphone. I have no idea how any of this works.
Well, what I was going to tell you was
Lucky you.
It was really cool because Fight With Myself, Aaron, he had sent us a voice message, and it's kind of cool to be able to like send in a voice message and then play it for the listeners like on your next episode. So maybe we each send each other a voice message or something.
All right, hey,
Absolutely.
For the in between
Hit us up.
episodes or whatever.
Yeah,
Yeah, we're gonna talk shit. You know that.
yeah. We'll get one from y'all after we find out how the scores are for the pick'em, and
Oh, yeah.
we'll make sure to play that in the
Well,
next episode.
we can tell you ahead of time. We can tell you ahead of time that we're gonna win.
Hey,
Hey, we'll see. Now, real quick,
it's very likely that we win. Just strategically wise.
we'll see. We made some risky
We'll see,
calls,
we'll
but we'll see. You know who hasn't came up
That's
this whole
right.
podcast? A country boy.
What?
Matt
Matt
Hughes.
That can
Hughes. I
survive.
was
Yeah,
gonna
so
say.
shout out to Matt Hughes, everybody.
I called it.
All right. Well, thank you guys for joining us, and we will see y'all before the UFC 239 card.
Peace.
Awesome. Our pleasure, man.
See you.
See ya.
All right. Thank you guys so much for either listening or watching the show today. We really appreciate it, and we hope that you come back for episode number 11. Remember to follow at The Fight Addicts on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook to stay up to date with us and everything that we're doing. Also, subscribe to our YouTube channel, and be sure to check out the blog, which can be found at thefightaddicts.com. Thank you guys for listening, and we will see y'all next time.